Guys, I want you to understand something very clearly. Forward progression equals forward expression. To express yourself is to simply move, to animate through time going forward. And so what I want you to understand is that if you don't express yourself to the fullest and most authentic of your ability, you won't be going anywhere. You'll be stagnant and you'll be in the same position, you'll be complacent. Now I want you guys to understand something very clearly. The better you can express yourself, the more you'll progress. See, most of you guys have never got to that level of authentic self-expression. You have to understand that you're either conforming and suppressing, or you're being yourself to the fullest and expressing. You have to understand that you have to love yourself more than the opinions of the people around you. And if you don't love yourself more than the people around you, well, you're going to be conforming to their perception. You're going to play their narrative. You have to understand something very clearly. The value you have for life is a reflection of your self-worth. And so if you believe you're worth the self-expression to the highest of existential experiences, because that is what we're all seeking out of life, the highest of quality experiences. And so if you don't look within yourself to find that experience, you'll be looking through others. You'll be looking to find yourself in other people, but you'll never find yourself because they're doing the same. And so what you have to do is actually find yourself. See, most people will go their entire life without finding themselves. They'll always seek themselves through other people, and when they see something beyond them, they have to sabotage. And so what you have to understand is the individual who's watching this video is that you have two paths you can walk in life. You can march with power and invigorate yourself to the next level, or you can be one of these self-debilitating, depleting primates, and you can flounder through life. You will fall down the staircase and you will decrease every fucking day. And what I want you to understand is that you have the power to choose which path you'll walk. And the reason you're repulsed from the message is because you know which path you chose. And the path you chose is the one you didn't want to choose. You see, you were too unconscious to come to the self-recognition that you are the most important thing in your existence. You see, you will pedestalize and you will always put people above you. And this is why you will remain inferior. You have chosen to be an inferior individual your entire fucking life. Everything you put above you, everything you value more than yourself, is what you're inferior to. And so most of you guys will take pride in your inferiority. No, I put this above me. I put this, this is better than me. You know what? I'm going to pedestalize this and I'm going to be below you. But you have to understand that you have no power when you're beneath something. And so what I'm telling you is to be your own power. What I'm telling you is to be the narrative. You see, your self-dialogue is going to reflect your reality. And the way you speak to yourself is the most important thing in your existence. Because every time you talk down about yourself, what you're doing is betraying yourself at the highest fucking level. And so what you have to understand is that nothing controls you but yourself. You have 100% control of your mind. And if you refuse to accept that responsibility, you will always be at the mercy of something outside of you. Everything will have influence over you but yourself. And so when we look at your character, you are this metamorphosis of contortion and conformity. You've never actually evaluated and looked yourself in the mirror and said, is this what I truly want to be? Is this who I am? Is this what I was born to be? My one life on earth, my divine time that I get to spend, and this is what you became. You have to understand that everyone is their result. What results do you reflect into reality? What eminence do you reflect? What character do you have? You guys don't have character. You guys are the character. What I'm telling you is to look in the mirror and confront yourself. You will go through life being something you don't want to be, and you will hide behind suppression. You will be depressed. You will always have this nihilistic lens. You will never have actual wisdom because you never sought the experience. You'll pretend that you know it all, but in all actuality, that's just a mask to hide the void beyond the mask. Most of you guys are void consciousness, and you neglect the fact to confront yourself. This is why you will forever remain in this cyclical pattern, this cycle of remaining the same person. You have to understand that you're supposed to grow out of the cocoon, and you have to understand that every level to life is a cocoon waiting to be an eggshell, waiting to be cracked open to get to the next level. See, most of you guys have nothing beyond the eggshell. You guys are just the egg, no essence, no yolk. You have to become the yolk. Most of you guys will always go through life seeking to find yolk in other people, and this is why you'll always be seeking to leech off of and to siphon other people's essence. Everything you do, is this truly authentic, or are you really just conforming, and are you leeching, and are you seeking to be valued by someone else's perception because you don't value yourself enough? You have to understand that you either value yourself to the point and you validate yourself through the way you conduct yourself, you validate yourself through your accomplishments, the way you go through life with actual nobility, factual nobility, facts to back it up, objective reality instead of subjective. Most of you guys are you guys live in this subjective state of consciousness. You have to understand that you're either the wielder of your emotions or your emotions wield you. And before we even get into it, emotions is just an existential tool. The way you feel is creating your reality. You feel mopey, you feel sloppy, you feel like you need validation. Well, your reality is going to reflect something very mediocre. You have to understand that if you feel powerful, if you feel authentic, if you feel invigorated, if you feel powerful, well, this is going to reflect in the way you behave. You have to understand that your internal narrative is unfolding an external reality. And so most of you guys are extrinsically motivated. All you see is the outside. But when it's time to look in the mirror and look into yourself, to introspect, you have to understand that the internal world that you haven't confronted, to introspect, the reason you don't introspect is because if you saw yourself for what you are, you would be disgusted. If you saw yourself for what you are in actual totality, you would be mortified of what the fuck the mirror reflects. You will put on your mask and you will smile at the fact you are an inadequate piece of shit. You will smile at the fact you are an incompetent individual who never actually made a move in life. You will seek for others you will demand respect from others, but you'll never respect yourself. You'll demand respect in front of everybody, but when you're by yourself, here you are in the Pornhub, here you are in the substances, here you are in the self-depleting relationships, here you are siphoning off of other people's energy, here you are being a failure at that fucking highest level, a monumental failure. And so you demand respect from everyone. Why don't you respect yourself? Maybe if you respected yourself, people would pick up on that. People would sense that. You naturally get respect. But you have to understand that it doesn't matter anyway, because you respect yourself. And so when you respect yourself and you wield your power of self-respect, well, no one can disrespect or respect you. They can simply align with the resonance, or they can be repulsed away, and they can fade in their own frequency and vibration, and they'll sit there and they'll have to witness what the fuck they can't emanate, what they can't be, what they can't proliferate into, because they didn't see themselves in you. You have to understand that reality is a mirror. Most of you guys see the reflection, and instantly you guys try to devalue what the fuck you can't reach. When you see a Ferrari, it has to be rented. When you see a body that's nice, it has to be steroids, because you cannot confront the fact within yourself that the void in you. You cannot confront the fact you don't believe you can attain those things. But what if I told you you could? Your mind is so limited that you will never achieve what you want out of life. And so the best thing to do is to confront yourself before it's too late, because you only live once. And the best thing someone could do is expose you and tell you the way of change. You see, most of you guys will throw more darkness onto the abyss of which you exist in. This is why you guys will never actually find the light which is needed, which is through the exposure and through the confrontation. Because as long as you remain hiding in the dark, you will never be exposed to light, and you will never know what's there. If it's abyssal darkness, you can't see in the dark, can you? So how do you know it's there? And so the best thing to do is to allow the light to expose you. And when you feel exposed and you're naked psychologically, you can now actually do some shit to change. Very simple. Peace!